Here are your three options for Magic Marker Monday. Option number one for your backup quarterback for the 2025 Dallas Football Cowboys. Option number one, Cooper Rush.
Yeah,
he comes back to be your quarterback. He has a winning record as your backup quarterback.
He does.
Option number two, the often talked about, rarely seen, Trey Lance.
Just saw him.
Option number three, that human being is not currently on the roster for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, maybe he comes in free agency. Maybe he comes in draft. Maybe he comes from, I don't know, wherever the hell Jerry wants to get him. But those are your options. Cooper Rush, Trey Lance, or he is not here at the moment. And Joe Hoyt, we're going to start with you.
Let's do it. I'll be honest. I liked what I saw.
Same.
I liked what I saw for a guy that.
What is this? You got two names.
Okay, so it's Trey Lance. It's Trey Lance or Dylan Gabriel in the 7th. Or Dylan Gabriel in the 7th. Or both.
Cheating ass. We don't say that word
bro,
anymore, Clarence.
He's taller than me. Man, Clarence had some slander out
Don't
there.
talk
Always
about
representing
short
your people.
I had to. Go Ducks.
Yeah.
I'm with you on Dylan Gabriel. I think he ends up as an NFL starter.
No, but I love your mentality. I've said this for years. I think if you're an NFL team, take a quarterback every 7th round. Every 7th round, and you find out really quickly, okay, this guy can play or not. Oh, well, it's a 7th round pick. Move on next year. Anyways, Trey Lance showed me enough, I thought, yesterday to warrant more development. And I think that's the thing with him. I'll preface this, though, by saying I don't think he'll be back because I think someone else might be willing to give what the Cowboys won't be willing to give in terms of trying to develop him. Exactly. But I saw Trey Lance, and I saw a guy that actually had progressed from the last time we saw him. The previous time we saw him, he threw 5 interceptions in a preseason game. I said, oh, man, this guy might not have it. The poise was not there. He looks, I mean, kind of under pressure. He looked a little nervous. I thought yesterday he looked poised, and even when he had bad plays, it just almost felt like it was understandable. I almost felt like, okay, this is a guy that has less than 150 career passing attempts in the NFL. You know how many passing attempts Joe Burrow had this year? Over 600. And obviously that's a little bit different. He's a starting quarterback in the NFL full time. But I think that Trey Lance showed enough with his arm talent, with his legs in particular. I think Mike McCarthy showed a little bit of, hey, we can mold the offense around Trey Lance. I think it's worth trying to develop him a little bit more.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it. I mean, honestly, what would be really fun is if they signed Trey Lance to like a 5-year, $10 million contract.
Deal.
Like you make nothing, but you're locked in. And if you can play, then 2 years from now, we're going to cut our quarterback and you're going to play for peanuts.
He should fire his agent.
Yeah,
he should fire his agent immediately.
One more note on Trey Lance. 223 days older than Jaden Daniels, who we saw on the same field yesterday.
Older.
But I mean, Jaden Daniels has played a ton of football.
Right.
That's Trey Lance's thing. He just hadn't played football.
100%.
It sucks.
Aisha, 2I.
Oh, okay. Mine is, I know y'all can't read my handwriting, but mine is he's not on the roster. And I'm only saying that I totally agree with Joe. I do think I saw enough from him yesterday and even rewatching the game this morning is that some things he is just going to, like looking off defenders and all that stuff. The cadence clearly was off yesterday with some of the guys. Like that stuff he needs experience doing. But I do think he has things you can build upon. But with what Clarence just said, it kind of throws a monkey wrench in that if he doesn't want to be here, then you probably need to go out.
To stepping.
I'm sorry, with respect, like I think you can upgrade from Cooper Rush. Quite honestly, watching Trey Lance yesterday was far more interesting. It's far more versatile. So is what it is.
I'll go next.
I dare you.
So here's my conundrum. And stay with me.
You wrote too small?
Stay with me.
I like
stay
it.
with me.
That's too small.
If you guys can't read this,
no.
Go to that 2-shot, TC.
You can't.
He has good handwriting.
There we go. Boom.
There you go.
You can't read that. Michael from Pittsburgh is back. Cooper Rush.
Okay.
And here's why. When you're talking about a backup quarterback, most of the time, most of the time you hope that your starter is not out for a long period of time.
Right.
Yeah, if he is, my season's over.
Your season is over.
Yeah.
Right?
You're right.
If the guy's going for 8-9 games, pretty much your season is over.
100%.
But if I'm looking for a guy that can go in 3, 4,
games, yep.
maybe 5 games, what I want, if I'm Michael from Pittsburgh, is I want the guy who can come in and I don't have to really adjust my offense. Maybe I don't go as deep, but if I can get the short, tight timing routes down in the West Coast offense, that gives me an opportunity to win this game. And if I add more pieces to that, when I get the ball into their hands, that gives me a chance to be successful. So for Mike McCarthy's perspective, if I'm going to come back and I need a guy that knows my system, that I know what his strengths and his weaknesses are, and we can put a game plan together that can go out there and win us. If my starter's out for 5 games, can you go 2-3?
Yeah,
that's what you're asking.
Can you
for.
go 2-3?
Yeah, you're right.
Can you go 2-3? And Cooper Rush has been proven to do that.
That's right.
He's been proven enough on this team under this coach that, hey, if necessary, I can go out there and get you some dubs. Go back to that 2-shot, TC.
2-shot.
But if you get a new head coach, the guy is not on the roster.
Yeah.
If you get a new head coach, I don't think Cooper Rush is a good enough football player for another system, for more explosive system. If you're looking for an explosive system, if you're looking for something that's going to drive the ball down the football field, and you're going to try to go, that's going to be the offense that you're looking at. And I'm saying that because I'm praying to God that the next offensive coordinator that we get in here, whether he be head coach or offensive coordinator, that this guy has his ankles out and his pants are tailored and his iPhone 16 is up to date, but that their offense is a more vertical offense that stretches the ball down the field, that gets layered route that are in the 12, 15, 17, 18-yard range so that you can have more explosive plays, so you don't have to get so many first downs, and you can put more points on the board because you don't do well in the red zone as it is now. So I want more plays to come from 30, 40, 50 yards out. Cooper Rush, I don't think, can really do that. So if they bring back Michael from Pittsburgh, absolutely Cooper Rush is your guy. But if Jerry's hay in the barn has another name tied to it, then he's probably going to bring somebody in that he knows that can run his offense.
I think Trey Lance has a real shot to be the backup, despite the fact
I hope so.
that he's been offered something, I guess, and said no thank you because I'm sure it was just league minimum or whatever. But if he has no market, then he could come on back because I think the one reason it makes sense is I'm going to go back to a theme that I sometimes go back to. Jerry Jones' ego is the size of the equator. And if you re-sign him, then he can justify that he traded for him. Yeah. And Jerry loves nothing more than justifying things Jerry does. That's his favorite thing.
Being right?
Yeah, being right is the most important thing to Jerry Jones by 10 miles. This is what I said. A draft pick
or the
nooch. Because if we got the nooch, I'll check in with him. He signed somewhere. I think he's at practice and stuff, but he's not the one who ships him anyway. He had to tell somebody. They haven't come in yet. The nooch, because then we could have him on the broadcast because he's a friend of mine. So we should bring back Ben DiNucci so that we could have him on the show. You know, like
when you say draft pick.
Yeah, draft pick.
What round are you thinking about?
Well,
thinking that quarterback.
Funny thing about that,
fourth round, but
the funny thing about that is I do feel like that's
funny.
the right round. Yeah, is the fourth. The fourth is about the round where you want to pick a guy. Because here's my new thing. This is my new thing with backup quarterbacks and quarterbacks in general. They got lucky with Dak, but I think that is the area where you try to get lucky. Their goal with Dak was to have a 4-year backup. Yeah, that was the goal. Mm-hmm. And then whoopsie, Romo got hurt, and then whoopsie, Kellen Moore got hurt, and then Dak played well.
Whoopsie. Jamil Showers wanted to go play safety. No.
Yeah, and Jamil Showers, honestly, in Dak's first camp, probably looked better than Dak. But they got lucky, and I think the place where you can get lucky, and at the moment, I have the same name as Joe. Because I've started watching college tape, but I watched Oregon wide receivers. And while watching them, I was like, holy crap.
Oh, this guy's delivering the ball on time.
Their quarterback is the most accurate thrower I've seen in years.
Such an easy catchable ball.
Every ball is just exactly where it's supposed to be.
Really good
And
touch.
he's small, and he's not a great athlete. And he doesn't have a big arm. He's played a bunch of football. He can read a defense, and he can deliver the football. And maybe you get lucky. And if you have a good team, suddenly Brock Purdy's a star. And all I'm asking of you is read it, throw it.
And see, that's where I'm out on Trey Lance. I think that Trey Lance struggles to read defenses.
I agree with that.
And when you look at what he was successful in last night, it was the rollouts, right? It was like, hey, cut half of the field off. You only got really these two options right in front of you. Wow, that's a good component to have in your offense. That can't be your offense.
He has to be, and he can't run a West Coast offense because
that's what I'm saying. Like, so if like,
point.
That's fine. And the sad part that Trey Lance has found himself in, when you lack the experience from your high school, college days, and now you get drafted by a team and they give up on you, No other team is going to be able to put that much time into you because I'm still developing my starter.
Yeah.
And in this league, no matter how much you want to say give guys reps, ain't that many reps to go around.
That's fair.
Especially when I got to get my guy that I've paid a bunch of money to the reps to get him going for our season. And I think with Trey Lance, the things about reading defenses and stuff like that, I think his accuracy is a little bit all over the place, right? And that's another key component. He could throw. What my man saying? Coming to America,
I don't know.
you can throw the ball a mile. Can't throw it right there. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You can throw the ball a country mile, but it's a dude wide open, it's 8 feet in front of you, and you throw it 2 feet before he in front of him. So that's my thing with Trey Lance is you're in a very effed up situation
100%.
because it's going to take someone to truly to believe in you, to give you the enough time to get over the fact that you struggle reading defenses and you struggle with the accuracy part.
I think that's the tough part with him is because you look at the guys that have bounced back that were high draft picks that are doing well. Baker Mayfield, look how much experience he had in college, right? You look at Sam Darnold, a lot of experience in New York and in college as well. You look at Geno Smith, a lot of experience. Trey doesn't have that. But I think for the first time last night, he showed me that he can progress via practice.
Yeah, at least a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Because I do think that is the thing when it's like it is interesting that he's now been in the league for how long? 4
years.
This was
This
his
is
fifth
4
year
years.
option? Okay, so they turned on the fifth. So
Yeah, fifth year option
4
now.
years in, at some point you stop saying, well, he just needs some experience. Like, you've been here half a decade, damn near. You know, your story's about written unless something weird happens. I think Trey Lance needs to go somewhere where they draft a quarterback in like maybe the first round or maybe the second that they don't know.
XFL.
You can't because then you don't make any money.
It doesn't exist.
You got money.
If
It's
the
another
NFL's
overall pick.
If the NFL's willing to sign you, you're not going to turn
know.
down $1 million, $1.5 million, $2 million a year to go play for $70,000.
If they could have a loan program, it would work well.
You can't. It would, and then the team would be like, "But what if my guy gets hurt? You're going to give me salary cap relief and
That's
draft
worth the
pick?
risk, right?
Work it out."